من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها. كذبت ثمود بتغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
صلى على محمد وآل محمد. على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. عن فاطمة الزهراء عليها السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم أنها قالت دخل علي أبي رسول الله في بعض الأيام فقال السلام عليك يا فاطمة فقلت عليك السلام. قال إني أجد في بدني ضعفا فقلت له أعيذك بالله يا أبتاه من الضعف. فقال يا فاطمة ائتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به. فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به وسرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أماه. فقلت وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله. فقلت نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جداه يا رسول الله أتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء؟ فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معه تحت الكساء فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أمه. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي: يا أماه، إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله. فقلت: نعم، إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء. فدنا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جده، السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكما تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي وشافع أمتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء. فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال: السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال: يا فاطمة، إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله. فقلت: نعم، ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال له: وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وصي وخليفتي وصاحب لوائي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت: السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال: وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بضعتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء. فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء، أخذ أبي رسول الله بطرفي الكساء وأومأ بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال: اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي، لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي، يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم. فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم، وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. على محمد وآل محمد. فقال الله عز وجل: يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي، إني ما خلقت سماء مبنيا ولا أرضا مدحيا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري، إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل: يا ربي ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل: هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. فقال جبرائيل يا ربي أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله. العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنيا ولا أرضا مدحيا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئة ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم. وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء فقال لأبي إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي عليه السلام إذا والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال أبي رسول الله يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا وفرج الله هما ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غما ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. فقال علي عليه السلام إذا والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة. سورة المباركة الفاتحة.
برای تأجیل ظهور امام زمان باز بلند صلوات. अकबर तेरी आमद की तलबगार है सुगरा صغرا آ جا کے بہت لاور و لاچار ہے صغرا بیمار ہے صغرا ہونے نہیں دیتی ہے مصائب سے جو آزاد بس ہے وہ تیری یاد ہونے نہیں دیتی ہے مصائب سے جو آزاد بس ہے وہ تیری یاد بھائی کی محبت میں گرفتار ہے صغرا بیمار ہے صغرا اور جب سے گئے بھائی مجھے لینے نہیں آئے میں رہ گئی ہائے جب سے گئے بھائی مجھے لینے نہیں آئے میں رہ گئی ہائے دہلیز پہ بیٹھی ہے عزادار ہے صغرا بیمار ہے صغرا اور اب تک تیرے قدموں کے نشان چوم رہی ہے راہوں میں کھڑی ہے اب تک تیرے قدموں کے نشان چوم رہی ہے راہوں میں کھڑی ہے ہمرا تیرے جانے کو تیار ہے صغرا بیمار ہے صغرا اور ان آخری سانسوں میں ان آخری سانسوں میں بھی بس دھیان ہے تیرا یوں نہ کرو شکوہ ان آخری سانسوں میں بھی بس دھیان ہے تیرا یوں نہ کرو شکوہ بھائی کو تیرے تجھ سے بہت پیار ہے صغرا بیمار ہے صغرا اور اکبر کے جنازے کو میں کس طرح اٹھاؤں میں کس کو بلاؤں اکبر کے جنازے کو میں کس طرح اٹھاؤں، میں کس کو بلاؤں، قاسم ہے نا عباس علمدار ہے صغرا، بیمار ہے صغرا، اکبر تیری آمد کی طلبگار ہے صغرا، بیمار ہے صغرا۔ پر محمد وال محمد صلوات۔
صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد۔ اس عالم غربت میں تمہیں جانے دو کیسے، اس دشت مصیبت میں تمہیں جانے دو کیسے، اس وقت قیامت میں تمہیں جانے دو کیسے، اے لالے جو تم اذن وغا مانگ رہے ہو، تم باپ سے مرنے کی رضا مانگ رہے ہو، اکبر تمہیں معلوم ہے کیا مانگ رہے ہو، تم باپ سے مرنے کی رضا مانگ رہے ہو، اس عالم غربت میں تمہیں جانے دو کیسے، اس دشت مصیبت میں تمہیں جانے دو کیسے، اس وقت قیامت میں تمہیں جانے دو کیسے، اے لالے جو تم اذن وغا مانگ رہے ہو، تم باپ سے مرنے کی رضا مانگ، کیا گزرے گی اس باپ کے دل پر نہیں سوچا، تم نے یہ میری جا علی اکبر نہیں سوچا، مر جاؤں گا میں تجھ سے بچھڑ کر نہیں سوچا، تم مجھ سے ضعیفی کا عصا مانگ رہے ہو، تم باپ سے مرنے کی رضا مانگ رہے ہو، اکبر تمہیں معلوم ہے کیا مانگ رہے ہو، تم باپ سے مرنے کی، دل روتا ہے نظروں سے اگر دور ہو بیٹا، کس طرح جدا تیری منظور ہو بیٹا، تم ہی میری آنکھیں ہو میرا نور ہو بیٹا، مجھ سے میری آنکھوں کی ضیا مانگ رہے ہو، تم باپ سے مرنے کی رضا مانگ، دنیا سے گیا جس گری محبوب خدا کا، نانا کی زیارت کو تڑپتا تھا نواسا، اے لال تجھے اس لیے خالق سے تھا مانگا، مقبول ہو میری دعا مانگ رہے ہو، تم باپ سے مرنے کی رضا مانگ رہے ہو، بابا 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 مجھے معلوم ہے کیا مانگ رہے ہو، ایک باپ سے مرنے کی رضا مانگ رہے ہو، بابا مجھے اماں نے بھی کچھ در سے دیا ہے، آداب وفا سے مجھے آگاہ کیا ہے، پہلے میں مروں آپ سے وعدہ یہ لیا ہے، بس اس لیے مرنے کی رضا مانگ رہے ہو، تم باپ سے مرنے کی رضا مانگ رہے ہو، صلوات علی محمد و آل محمد۔
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers, we are coming towards the end nights, so please, once again, an earnest request for you, for everyone attending, not to disturb the neighbors, park responsibly, don't litter, don't make too much noise when you're going out. The usual akhlaq that is expected out of us. Hero Julus for the first time will be held Ashura Day, which is Wednesday, at 3 p.m. from Harrow Leisure Center. For those who would like to partake in sponsoring the tabarruk and the running costs of these majalis, please speak to my brother Muhammad Bhai Bandali, myself, brother Sarfraz, or the two car park volunteers outside. For all those who have asked us to pray for them who are ill, we pray bihaqqi bimari Karbala for their quick and complete recovery. Ameen. May I please request you to recite Surah Fatiha for Marhuma Nishat Nathu Dosa, Marhum Abbas Anwar Ali Nazrali, Marhum Muhammad Rafiq Abbas Karmali, Marhum Shiraz Muhammad Ali Ghulam Hussain, Marhum Muhammad Remtullah, Marhuma Leila Bai Remtullah, Marhum Abbas Muhammad Bandali, and all our marhumin. Al-Fatiha. May I please invite Shaykh Muhammad Abbas Panju for a majlis with a salawat ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad.
رحم الله من قرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله بارئ الخلائق الأجمعين، باعث الأنبياء والمرسلين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء، حبيب قلوبنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم محمد. ثم الصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين، لا سيما ولي الله الحجة ابن الحسن صاحب الأمر والزمان. اللهم صل على روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الأولين والآخرين إلى قيام يوم الدين. آمين رب العالمين. صلى الله عليك يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، صلى الله عليك يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة. يا غريب الغرباء، يا مظلوم كربلاء، السلام على من جعل الله الشفاء في تربته، السلام على من الإجابة تحت قبته، السلام على ساكن كربلاء. فيا ليتنا ثم يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي، يا سادتي، فنفوز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، قال رسول الله وهو سيد المرسلين وخاتم الأنبياء صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. اللهم صل على مفتاح الصلاة الوضوء، وتحريمها التكبير، وتسليمها وتحليلها التسليم. صدق النبي وآمنا به. زينوا مجالسكم بذكر محمد وآل محمد. أحبائي, the purpose of tonight's majlis, I would like to discuss with you the grandeur and the azama of the institution of wudu and the connection of this grand ibadah, the institution of wudu, its relationship with Karbala. And in reality, truth be told, this is a two-part majlis. The first part of the majlis was recited in Essex, but what we will do is, for the purpose of tonight, such that the bahath is continuous and mufid, we will summarize what we have established in the first majlis and then move on from there. So if the bahath is shamil and kamil. All of this with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Ahibba'i, diving right into the core of our subject and majlis discussion for tonight, without any introduction. You find that when it comes to understanding the azama and the grandeur of salat, the grandeur and the azama of the institution of wudu, we go back to the hadith that emanates from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal faraja. Where the Prophet of Islam, in a hadith narrated in Wasa'il al-Shi'a, states, Miftahu salat al-wudu' wa tahrimuha at-takbir wa tahliluha at-taslim. Rasulullah says the key and the opening to salat is wudu'. Miftahu salat wudu'. Number two, وَتَحْرِيمُهَا تَكْبِيرٌ. تَحْرِيمُهَا يعني تَكْبِيرَةُ الْإِحْرَامِ, in the sense that it is known as tahrim. After you perform your takbiratul ihram, there are a certain number of things that are prohibited for you to do. Just like the way when you are in a state of ihram, when you go for hajj, the moment you do your niyyah and you wear your ihram, there is an entire list of things upon which it is prohibited for you to engage. The same philosophy and the same concept is applied to takbiratul ihram. As soon as you complete or begin your takbiratul ihram, a number of things are prohibited. You are not allowed to look outside of the direction of Qibla. You are not allowed to have any kalam adami, so on and so forth, as mentioned within the books of fiqh. Tamam? Miftahu salat wudu. Tahrimuha takbir and tahliluha at-taslim. Tahleel, yani the ending of salat is with your taslim. Our kalam over here is in regards to wudu, where Rasulullah says, Miftahu salat wudu. From here, ahibba'i, we are able to understand and uncover a number of realities and we are able to extract the treasures of ma'rifah in regards to the grandeur and the azama of the institution of wudu. Shufu, Ahibai, before I dive into this bahath, Bain al-Qawsayn is important for us to understand and to know that the keys to spiritual success, the keys to spiritual ascension in our deen, Allah has not put this in the form of grand, complex, complicated, theoretical, nadhariyatil issues. Abadan la. The secrets of ma'rifah, the haqa'iq of the deen are understood from what you and I may think is simple, but actually in the eyes of the Sharia it is grand. And wudu is one of those things. Bani Adam out of nature tends to see this as an empty ritualistic core, which is nothing more than a wajib obligation as a prerequisite to salat. La, wudu is something much deeper than this, much grander than this, and has a connection with Karbala, as we will see. Tamam. So if we understand this, when we come back to the hadith and we see when Rasulullah says miftahus salat al-wudu, the opening to your salat and the key to your salat is wudu. Two things we are able to understand. Number one, the adama of wudu in itself. Shufu, salat in its definition. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala within the sharia and within the deen has made salat as this sila between the makhluk and the khalq. Therefore, you come and you see hadith from the Ma'soom Imam that says, as-salat amududdin. You have within the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, inna as-salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. Rasulul A'dham says, salat mi'rajul mu'min. This salat, which is a central aspect of the furu'ud-din, its validity in its entirety with the grandeur that salat has is contingent upon wudu. So how grand must wudu be? The entire amududdin, central pillar of your deen, is built on salat. But if your wudu is incorrect, or if you do not perform wudu, your salat collapses. And the only exception to this, where we say that wudu is a prerequisite to salat, the exemption is when a person is forced to do tayammum, again as mentioned within the books of fiqh, or if a person has done a wajib ghusl in which he is able to replace that wajib ghusl with is able to replace the wudu with the wajib ghusl. All of this is mentioned in the books of fiqh. Ours over here is to say that when Rasulullah says that miftahus salat al-wudu, and you understand the grandness of the institution of wudu, the grandness of the institution of salat, this is an indication of the grandness of the institution of wudu. Tamam. Number two, over here we understand that from one of the secrets of the words of Rasulullah is this. In order to attain a higher concentration in salat, a person must have a higher concentration in wudu. Because Rasulullah says, miftahus salat al-wudu. The key to salat is wudu. The opening of salat is wudu. So the reality of salat and what you are supposed to achieve and attain by executing and performing this wajib duty begins with your ma'rifah and your understanding and your concentration of wudu. Wa intum jarribu. This is something that can be, that the results are tangible. You can have empirical evidence for something like this, where if you were to perform the wudu of ma'rifah, wudu of concentration and wudu of understanding, straight away you see how the impact is when it comes to your salat. Because none of us are infallible, and all of us suffer with problems when it comes to, or we struggle with concentration inside of salat. person will be able to think about everything and anything under the sun during the time of salat. A person could have mental conversations with fictional characters inside of his mind. He'll speak about and speak with everyone except Allah. Tamam, this issue, spiritual defect or spiritual problem is solved in wudu. If we understand this, what is meant by concentration in wudu? Ahibba'i, what is meant by concentration in wudu is for us, or as we get to this point, it is important that we begin with the definition of wudu. If you were to collect and collate a large number, because I can't say all the hadith, there is nobody who can claim, even the Maraja never claimed that we have gone through all the hadith of Ahlul Bayt. La. If you were to gather and you were to collate a large number of hadith that speak about, present within our literature, that speak about the institution of wudu, you will be able to extract the following definition. Wudu is an action. Action yani shuno, from the Quran we already know that wudu is made up of 2 washes and 2 wipes. You wash the face and you wash the right and the left hand. You wash the face and the hands. This is the washes. And then you have the wipe, which is Masa on the head and Masa of the feet. So, coming back to our definition, wudu is a set of actions that symbolize the yearning and the seeking of the soul for a connection with the Creator. Allahu Akbar. So we understand that the acts that have been prescribed within the Sharia, which is to wash the face and hands and to wipe the head and the feet with water, these actions of washing our limbs are a symbolism to something much deeper and something much more greater, like just the way you have codes. So your actions are codes that symbolize something deeper. And the end result of this yearning of the soul for a connection with the Creator through the performance of these actions, which is the wash and the wipes, the end result is a person attains a state of spiritual purity known as tahara, tuhur. For this reason, you find that the 6th Imam, Imam as-Sadiq, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajjal faraja, states, al-wudu nur. Wudu is a nur. Nur is a state of spiritual purity that a mu'min experiences. So what is understood is that the washing of the limbs and the wiping of the body parts is a wasila and a means and a tawassul to a spiritual state of purity. And the spiritual state of purity implies that we are supposed to be nurturing and we are supposed to be garnishing within ourselves certain characteristics and traits. We are supposed to be seeking specific characteristics and traits that allow us to remain within this da'irah, within this parameter of spiritual purity. And hence, again, Imam as-Sadiq says, al-wudu nisf al-iman. If a person just contemplates kalam kabir, if a person contemplates on this definition of wudu and what wudu is supposed to symbolize, straight away his understanding and his entry into salat changes. Salat ba'd is far. If a person understands the definition of wudu, the manner in which he performs wudu aslan changes. Sometimes rahib, when you come across these types of definition, maybe a person does shock and he says, I never knew this about wudu. What have I done for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years of my life? And hence, ahibai, ma'rifah is absolutely important. Every act that we perform in our furu'ud-din has to be governed by ma'rifah. The logical reason for this is that if we engage in acts of furu'ud-din without ma'rifah, there are two direct consequences. Number one, your adherence to furu'ud-din becomes nothing but meaningless, ritualistic, robotic acts. Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal says, Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. Salat is supposed to be a shield and a barrier that prevents you from engaging in sin. Then why is it, despite me reciting 5 salat a day, why is it me, despite reciting nafila salat, that the minute the salat finishes, I am in the first ranks of ghiba and namima, and I am in the first rank of nifaq when it comes to social relationships? Where did the salat go? Why the impact of this salat is not manifesting in my behavior? Why isn't this power of resistance, which is supposed to be developed through salat, present within me? Then the Quran just became a slogan, and we are told we need to live the values of the Quran. Hence the beginning point of all of this, salat is supposed to be mi'rajul mu'min. Why is it from the time I did my takbiratul ihram to the time that I did my taslim, I didn't feel any closeness to Allah Azza wa Jal? Wal ayadu billah, maybe a person even gets further away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you know, within the hadith, again the 6th Imam states, salat is accepted in portions, proportions, in percentages. Salat is accepted by Allah as per the percentage in which your heart was actually present in the salat. If your attention was only there for 50% of the salat, 50% of your salat is accepted. If your heart was attentive for 2% of the salat, 2% is there. And if not, tamam, 0. And therefore we are able to understand that wudu as an institution of ibadah is absolutely central in our journey of spiritual ascension. And how we are able to understand the secrets that are encompassed within the acts of wudu, such that our wudu is a wudu of ma'rifah. I like to take you back to understand what we are supposed to recite within the dua whilst in a state of wudu. Because this dua which is to be recited whilst doing wudu, taught to us by Amirul Mu'mineen, opens the doors of success and is a gateway to the wilayah of Ali Muhammad, as we will see, particularly when it comes to the issue of Karbala. All of this with a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Tamam, ahibai, hadith is sharif, for anyone who would like to follow up on this, it is the dua that is to be recited at the time of wudu as taught to us by Amirul Mu'mineen, Ruhi Lahul Fida, and this is found in the book Tahdibul Ahkam of Shaykh At-Tusi. See, Shabab, in the previous majlis, we explained what the washing of the hands and what the washing of the face symbolizes and represents. I will not go through the entire istidlal, but I will give you a summary. Our understanding over here is that, you don't lose the train of thought, that wudu as an action ordained by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a symbolism of certain traits and characters that you are supposed to be seeking from Allah Azza wa Jal. Tamam? Therefore, if we understand this, Hadith Sharif, Amirul Mu'mineen says, when you are washing your face, you are supposed to say, Allahumma bayyid wajhi, Ya Allah, brighten my face with noor on the day of judgment, and do not raise me on the day of judgment with the hallmark of shame and sin apparent on my face. And from the Quran we are able to establish who is the person that is raised on the day of judgment with the hallmark of shame on his face. It is those people who lived their lives as mu'mins but then died as kuffar. الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بَعْدَ إِيمَانِهِمْ. And this is a reality. We mentioned this a couple of nights back or in previous majalis. Allah knows how many people zahiran are mu'mineen, but at the time of sakaratul maut they became kafir. Why go to sakaratul maut? In our lifetimes we have seen people become apostates. In our lifetime we have seen people who were at the forefront when it came to propagating the wilayah of Amirul Mu'mineen. Today the very same people have become the enemies of Amirul Mu'mineen and supporting the enemies of Amirul Mu'mineen. This is Adam al-Tawfiq. Why? One of the reasons is that they didn't understand. They lost the ma'rifah of wudu. And as a result of this, they lost the tawfiq of iman. See where Islam deals with root causes, and there is tarattub. But if you go down to the judhur, if you go down to the roots, it begins with what you and I think are the basics. It's not the basics, this is the core. And then Amirul Mu'mineen then goes on to say, when you wash your hands, you wash your right hand, it is supposed to symbolize, Ya Allah, on the day of judgment, give me my book of deeds on my right hand, which in short means, place me in the realm of Jannah with the Illiyin. And the Illiyin is Ali Muhammad. So now you are able to see in your wudu, while you are washing your right hand, it is supposed to symbolize your yearning to be in the highest place of Jannah with Ali Muhammad. See how the trace of wilayah and the scent of wilayah starts coming into your wudu. And then Amirul Mu'mineen then goes on to say, when you wash your left hand, what you are in essence supposed to do is ask dua and say, Ya Allah, do not give me my book of deeds on the day of judgment on my left hand. Who are the people who get their book of deeds in the left hand? Again, when you refer back to the Quran, the Ashabu Shimal are those people who abandoned the deen because they preferred to chase their wealth or their power on earth. You abandoned the religion, seeking economic benefit. Downplayed the religion, seeking economic benefit. Those people who abandon the faith for power, be it political power, be it social power, be it religious power, people actually trample on the principles of religion in the name of Islamic leadership. Wow, there are tons of examples in front of us. For therefore, if a person understands this, that you are seeking for lofty traits whilst you are washing your limbs, getting ready for meeting your Lord, and you understand that salat is a mi'raj, and mi'raj cannot be embarked upon without spiritual purity. Look at the traits of purity that you are seeking from Allah when you're washing your face and hands. Allahu Akbar. Person enters into salat with this type of ma'rifah in regards to wudu. Aslan salat takes him to a different realm of existence, because through the active, conscious seeking of these traits, in essence what you are doing is you are cutting yourself and you are freeing the shackles of materialism and this dunya, and you are freeing yourself into an alam from alam al-malakut, This is why Rasulullah says, Salat, Mi'raj, ascension. You're freeing yourself from the shackles of this dunya and everything that superficialism and materialism denotes and symbolizes and represents. Mu'min yitir, flying into a different alam. Tamam. All of this as a summary of what we have done in the previous majlis. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Moving on, and I wish tonight just to focus on one part of the wudu, and that is the Masa of the feet. Tamam. Amirul Mu'mineen then goes on to say, so enter when you wash your feet, wipe your feet. Wipe your feet. Enter when you wipe your feet for wudu during Masa. What is this supposed to represent? Amirul Mu'mineen, Imam al-Muttaqeen says, ثم امسح على رجلي فقل اللهم ثبت قدمي على الصراط يوم تزول فيه الأقدام. Ya Allah, when you are wiping your right foot and your left foot, what is expected, Amirul Mu'mineen is teaching us, is that when you wipe your right foot and your left foot, say in your dua, Ya Allah, keep my feet firm on the sirat, on the day of judgment, when the feet are wavering. Shuf, while you are bending down to wipe your feet, what did we say the definition of wudu is? Physical actions that are performed that symbolize a deeper meaning. You are physically wiping your feet, physically, but your soul and your mind has traveled to Yawmul Qiyamah. This is what we mean by liberating the soul from superficial cultural materialism. And then from here you are able to uncover a reality where you are saying, Ya Allah, thabbit aqdami, keep my feet firm on this sirat on the day of judgment. And as you know, that Yawmul Qiyamah, there is a sirat, there is a bridge and a path. At the end of the bridge is the gates of Jannah. And between you and Jannah is this bridge, and underneath it are different levels of chastisement. And the hadith goes on to say that this sirat and this path is finer than the blade of a sword. Now, regardless of whether this is metaphorical or literal, what we are able to understand is that this mizan is a mizan of judgment which is so fine and so precise that there is no dhulm, accountability. مَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَى وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ يَرَى. Shar and amal khair, the result is there on the sirat. So Amir al-Mu'mineen is saying, in your wudu, Ya Allah, thabbit aqdami, keep my feet firm in that sirat on Yawmul Qiyamah. So as you are seeking this in wudu, which is the opening of salat, so as you are entering into salat, you know that you have a goal, and that goal is that you need to be firm on the sirat in the hereafter. So by the time you reach Suratul Hamd and you say Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim, you begin to understand that there is a sirat in the dunya. Depending on how you abide by the sirat of this dunya, your destiny will be decided on that sirat in the akhirah. So now my destiny on that sirat is contingent upon this sirat. So I come and I ask, which is this sirat that I am supposed to be on? Hadith which have reached the level of tawatur between the amma and the khassa. Rasulullah said, Sirat al-Mustaqim, Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. See the rabt between salat and wilaya, and the rabt between wudu and wilaya, and how there is a rabt between your masah and this particular part of Suratul Hamd, which is the dua. Because I believe it is over here, we said that Hadith Sharif, Rasulullah, the Ma'soom, says that Suratul Hamd is divided into three. Hadith of Imam as-Sadiq, Suratul Hamd is divided into three. Awwaluha tahmid, wa awsatuha ikhlas, wa akhiruha dua. So see how the dua at the time of your masah is connected with the dua in Suratul Hamd. A spiritual network that allows your soul to traverse. It was not mubalagha when Rasulullah said salat is mi'raj. When Rasulullah says miftahus salat wudu. We need to deep dive into the words of Ali Muhammad. And truly when a person understands this, he feels, and rightfully so, he feels, I have been mahroom of the true salat my entire life. Sahlola? Tamam. If we understand we have a number of tafasir of what it means, thabbit akdami, in addition to Siratul Mustaqim from the Quran. I fear if we enter into the Bahath Qur'ani, we're going to have another 95 minute majlis. So I am going to shorten the Bahath and move to the point of wilaya straight away, inshaAllah, and then Masa'ib. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Tamam, ahibba'i. Amirul Mu'mineen Ruhi Lahul Fida is saying what? When you are doing your masah when you are performing your masah during wudu, you are supposed to be doing dua, and you are supposed to say what? Allahumma thabbit qadami ala sirat. Ya Allah, establish, keep my feet firm in this religion, Siratul Mustaqim, in this religion, this deen, and which is the wilayah of Amirul Mu'mineen. Keep me firm in my deen. This is supposed to be a spiritual exercise that helps us overcome inferiority complex in regards to the issue of our deen. Who are the people who compromise on their deen? If you compromise, then there is no thabat. Thabat means stay firm. But you find when people compromise on their deen because of social pressures, because of economic pressures, because of political pressures, there is lack of thabat. So because there is lack of thabat, they abandon their deen. So wudu and masa in particular is supposed to be that spiritual exercise where you are seeking tawfiq from Allah. Do not make me from amongst those who suffer from inferiority complex when it comes to my identity as a Shia. What is the meaning of thabat? Stay firm on your identity. The wilayah of Amirul Mu'mineen, and I'm proud, and I should not be apologetic about my faith. Doesn't mean I need to be rude. Doesn't mean I need to be sectarian. La. In fact, there is a great confusion when it comes to the definition of sectarianism and loyalty. Many times sectarianism is confused for loyalty. If we have an opportunity in the future, define both of them and the distinction between both of them as per the words of Ali Muhammad. In either case, we are asking for thabat. Ya Allah, keep me firm on my path. Tamam? Now, where is the rabt between Masa and Karbala? Shufu ahibai. The rabt between Masa and Karbala, the Masa of your wudu and Karbala, is found through Ziyarat Ashura. Matamis. The final part of Ziyarat Ashura when you go into sajda. What do you say? Allahumma laka alhamdu hamda shakirina laka ala musabihim. Alhamdulillahi ala adhimi raziyati. Allahumma rizukni shafa'at al-Husayn yawm al-wurud. وثبت لي قدم صدق عندك مع الحسين وأصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا محجهم دون الحسين عليه السلام. اللهم ثبت أقدامي. اللهم وثبت لي قدم صدق وثبت لي قدم صدق عندك مع الحسين. Like the way in your Masa of your wudu you are saying, Ya Allah, ثبت لي, keep me firm on the sirat. In Ziyarat Ashura you are seeking from Allah, keep me firm on the path of Imam al-Hussein. Path of Imam al-Hussein? La. Look at this. On the path of Imam al-Hussein and the companions of Imam al-Hussein who shed the blood from their hearts. The arteries were severed in defense of Hussein. The companions of Sayyid al-Shuhada on the day of Ashura were men of thabat, firm, established, do not waver, do not compromise. You see the rabt between what you are seeking in your Masa of wudu and what you are seeking in the sajda of Ziyarat Ashura. It is a grave sin and an insult when somebody comes and makes comments like, yeah, teaching wudu and speaking about wudu is what we do in the madrasa classes for the youngsters. Haramat. You can say, he himself has not understood. And what we are talking about is an iota of what wudu is supposed to get you to. When Imam Sadiq said, this is Sadiq Alim Muhammad, when he says wudu nisful iman, these are not statements of mubalagha. The people on the day of Ashura who stood with Imam al-Hussein knew what wudu stands for. And Imam al-Hussein was the manifestation of what you seek through your wudu. If you understand this, your wudu is supposed to lead you towards wilayah. And this reality cannot get any more clearer than through this hadith which is narrated in Wasailu Shia on authority of Imam al-Askari, where he says, An Rasulillah miftahu salat tahur wa tahrimuha takbir wa tahliluha taslim. This salat, the miftah of salat, which is wudu, and the tahrim, which is the takbir, and the tahliluha, the tahlil, which is the taslim. وَلَا يَقْبَلْ Allah as-salat بِغَيْرِ tahur. And this salat which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't accept without purity. Tahur means purity, tahara. And one way of tahara is wudu. Sahlola. So Rasulullah is telling us over here that this salat which you are praying, and this salat which is not accepted without tahara. Imam al-Askari then goes on to say, وَإِنَّ أَعْظَمْ tahur. And indeed the most grandest form of purity without which your salat cannot be accepted is muwalat Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, لأنه سيد الأنبياء, وموالات علي ibn Abi Talib لأنه سيد الوسيين. The greatest form of tahara without which your salat cannot be accepted is the wilayah for Rasulullah and Amirul Mu'mineen Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. Thabat is something important. To remain steadfast and to remain firm until the final moments. This is thabat. And this can't happen from human effort. I'll tell you, not me. The scholars in the Hawza Ilmiya, you go and you speak with the Maraja in Najaf al-Ashraf, after 70, 80 years of dedicating their life and going through the grind, Saddikoni, believe me when I tell you that this path of ilm is filled with difficulties. Allahu Akbar. Until you actually live that path, we cannot even begin to fathom. And when a person like this comes and tells you, after 60, 70, 80 years of service to Ali Muhammad and going through the grind, and I mean this in its literal sense, he comes and he'll tell you, ulama will tell you, that this thabat, steadfastness, does not come to you because of your ilm. Ilm is daruri, but it will not come only from ilm. It will not come because of your salat and your Quran, even though salat and Quran is important. It doesn't come from your human effort and your intellectualism. It comes from tawfiq ilahi. And this reality is what is portrayed when Amirul Mu'mineen says the dua of wudu. Because dua means what? Seeking tawfiq. Seeking that which is outside of your human control. You now need divine intervention. And on the day of Ashura, companions of Imam al-Hussein, for whom there was thabat, steadfast till the end. Habib, Joan, Muslim ibn Awsaja. And there are those who didn't have thabat. They sold out Imam al-Hussein at the last moment. Dhahak ibn Abdullah al-Mashriqi. Dhahak ibn Abdullah al-Mashriqi was with Imam al-Hussein before Imam al-Hussein even got to Karbala. He met Imam al-Hussein on the way to Karbala. Imam al-Hussein asked him, will you join my army? Because if you join my forces, there is divine Jannah and divine success, eternal success, fawz. He looked at Imam al-Hussein and he said to him, Ya Aba Abdullah, I will fight with you, but on one condition. So long as I see that me being with you is beneficial in terms of maneuvering the outcome of the war. Meaning that, so long as I see that you are victorious and me being with you is going to bring you victory, I am with you. But Ya Aba Abdullah, if I see on the day of judgment that the battle is not in your favor, is against you, I'm telling you from now, I reserve the right to leave. I feel some people, how they work with the Imam, how they deal with the Imam, how they deal with the Sharia like it's a contract. Their entire mu'amalat with the deen is like it's a business interaction, and look for loopholes and look for blueprint, fine prints. This started from Dhahak ibn Abdullah al-Mashriqi. I said, listen, my affiliation with you, Ya Aba Abdullah, is a business contract. Imam al-Hussein, Sayyid al-Shuhada, Imam al-Muttaqeen, Ham Imam al-Rahma, he accepted. He said, perhaps he has entered this bay'ah and my camp conditionally. Inshallah, bimurur zaman, with the passing of time, maybe he'll change. Imam said, come. Dhahak ibn Abdullah al-Mashriqi. Look at the importance of this dua that Amir al-Mu'mineen is teaching us to seek in our wudu. And the dua that we are supposed to recite in sajda of ziyarat Ashura. Allah. The Haq ibn Abdullah al-Mashriqi was with Imam al-Hussein when he reached the first day, on the 2nd of Muharram. When Imam Hussein reached Karbala, the Haq was with Imam al-Hussein. You know, when Imam al-Hussein, we recite in the Masa, 2nd of Muharram, when they reached Karbala, what did Imam al-Hussein say? He said, Ha huna manakhu rihaluna, wa ha huna katlu ashabina, wa ha huna dhibhu atfalina. This is where we are going to be killed. This is where we are going to be slaughtered. This is where we are going to be sacrificed. As soon as Imam al-Hussein said this, there were 500 people. You know, Imam al-Hussein didn't reach Karbala with 72. There were more. 500 people were with Imam al-Hussein when he reached Karbala, 2nd Muharram. When he said, Ha huna, this is where we are going to be killed. 500 people told Imam al-Hussein, Salamun alaykum. They left. This is where Imam al-Hussein gave the khutbah. The deen is on the tips of the tongues of the people. The minute an imtihan comes, disappeared from the ranks. The Haq passed this first imtihan. The Haq stayed in Karbala, 3rd of Muharram, 4th of Muharram, 5th of Muharram, 6th of Muharram. 6th of Muharram, the army of Umar ibn Sa'ad had reached 30,000 people. 7th of Muharram, access to water is closed. He spent the 8th, 7th and 8th, 9th day thirsty with Imam al-Hussein. Night of Ashura, he sat in the tent of Imam al-Hussein. Imam al-Hussein gave them glad tidings of Jannah. He passed all these imtihans, and these are not easy, huh? Yom Ashura. Yom Ashura. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Yom Ashura, the Haq stood on the plains of Karbala with Imam al-Hussein, saw the 4 khutbahs, saw the 2 miracles from Imam al-Hussein. He is on the side of Haq. Imam al-Hussein said, for you is Jannah. And the only difference between you and Jannah is the blade of the sword, and then eternal success. The Haq even stayed for the 1st and the 2nd Hamla. When he saw that the companions of Imam al-Hussein have become martyred, and there is only 2 people remaining from the tent of Imam al-Hussein, from the companions. Most likely, Anas ibn Harith al-Kahuli and Jaun. According to some historians, they say these 2 were remaining before the Bani Hashim. To these 2. The Haq over here made calculations. Said, over here, I'm dying. War is not in our favor. Went to Imam al-Hussein, Yom Ashura, and said to him, Ya Aba Abdullah, do you remember my bay'ah? It was a conditional bay'ah, that if the war is not in your favor, I can leave. I have come to exercise my right of return. Imam al-Hussein said, go. When you say in Ziyarat Ashura, وَثَبِّتْ لِي قَدَمَ صِدْقٍ عِنْدَكَ مَعَ الْحُسَيْنِ. These are not words that are shallow or cheap. There is a reason this dua is so azim, that if you want to do this dua, you have to be in sajda to do it. Why is there a sajda in Ziyarat Ashura? And think about it, the same concept, this dua is so azim, you're doing it during Masa, because you are going down. The closer you are to the earth, the closer you remember death. And if you remember death, that it is inevitable, you don't exchange deen for dunya. This is thabat. 3 times a day we're supposed to do wudu minimum for our wajibat. If we do wudu in the spirit with which Amirul Mu'mineen taught us, now you begin to see the importance of wudu together with ziyarat Ashura when it comes to the dhuhr of the 12th Imam. Get how many people are going to Thabat Abadan Mako. Kalam Kabir on this. We will stop here and inshallah proceed with the Masaib. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. A second of your loudest salawat in order to hasten the reappearance of Maulana Sahib al-Amri wa Zaman. And the third salawat for the blessings and Qubul al-A'mal from Sayyidat Nisa al-Alameen Siddiqat al-Tahira Sayyidah Fatimat al-Zahra alayha salam. Ahibai, Masaib of Imam Ali Akbar. And I say Imam Ali Akbar for a reason. Imam linguistically means leader. So you have Imam al-Jama'ah, you have Imam al-Masjid. Title Imam is given to perhaps Marja Taqlid. Imam Ali Akbar, because he was a representative of the leadership within the hierarchy of Wilaya. And this is a reality which is Adim, this unlocked to us by Imam al-Hussein. In any case, the Masaib of Imam Ali Akbar, Allahu Akbar. May Allah never show parents a day where they have to bury their children. And only Allah and the Alim Muhammad know the amount of sabr it takes for a father or a mother to bury their child. Only Allah knows what sabr, and Alim Muhammad, what sabr they require. I say that sabr cannot be attained out of human effort. It is given by Allah and Alim Muhammad. Allah, the tragedy of Imam al-Hussein when it came to Ali Akbar. You know, Ali al-Akbar, the hadith mentioned, Kana ashbahun nas khalkan wa khulkan wa mantiqan bi Rasulillah. The person who represented and reflected and resembled Rasulullah the most was Imam Ali Akbar. Meaning that the way Imam Ali Akbar walked was the walk of Rasulullah. The way Imam Ali Akbar talked was like the talk of Rasulullah. The complexion of Ali Akbar was like the complexion of Rasulullah. The physical characteristics, his eyes, his nose, his eye color, his hair, his ears, he resembled Rasulullah in his entirety. The way that Ali Akbar would carry himself with haiba, it is like the haiba of Rasulullah. Imam al-Hussein doesn't exaggerate in this. Such that the historians mention that the Sahabis who lived until 60 AH, whenever they had the shawq and whenever they had the yearning to perform the ziyarah of Rasulullah, they would come to Medina to the house of Imam al-Hussein and they would say, can we look at Ali Akbar, because within him we see Rasulullah. The Tabi'een who have never seen Rasulullah, this generation that came after the Sahaba, who had never seen Rasulullah, but heard about Rasulullah, but had read about Rasulullah, they would come to Medina and they would knock on the door of Imam al-Hussein. They would sit in front of Ali Akbar and they would say, Allah, what we heard about Rasulullah, what we read about Rasulullah is here in front of us. And the Tabi'een would bring their children, the Tabi'een. Which is why we say on the day of Ashura, when they struck Ali Akbar, it is as if they struck Rasulullah. And when Ali Akbar was in pain, it is as if Rasulullah was in pain. How Imam al-Hussein dealt with the masa'ib of Imam Ali Akbar, I don't know. Yaqub, when he was separated from his son Yusuf, Yaqub was a Nabi, and Yaqub knew that Yusuf is alive, but the pain of separation, Yaqub wept until his back became bent. Yaqub wept until he became blind, even though Yusuf was well and alive. I say, Yaqub, come to Karbala and look at what Hussein has to see from the mangled body of Ali Akbar. Ibrahim Khalilullah, when the imtihan of Allah came, Ya Ibrahim, you have to sacrifice Ismail. Ibrahim alayhi salam, no doubt, submitted to the command of Allah, such that the history mentions he placed Ismail on the earth, and Ibrahim took a sword or took a knife, and he placed the knife on the neck of Ismail. It was the mashi'at of Allah that Ismail will not be sacrificed, but instead of him there will be a dhibhul azim, and the dhibhul azim is in Karbala. But when Ibrahim put the knife on the neck of Ismail, this act was so painful for Ibrahim, was so painful. Ibrahim Khalilullah said, I cannot, it hurts me, it pains me, I cannot see this knife go close to the neck of my son. The historians say Ibrahim turned his face away from the knife. He couldn't see. Ya Khalilullah, come to Karbala. When Imam al-Hussein sat next to Ali Akbar, they say, Qatta'uhu irman irma. Then cut Ali Akbar to pieces. Allahu Akbar. Matamiz, once all the companions of Imam al-Hussein had become shaheed, and there was no one remaining outside except from the Bani Hashim. The Maktal mentions that from amongst the first youth of Bani Hashim to become shaheed was Ali Akbar. He went into the Khaymaga to seek permission from Imam al-Hussein. The Maktal mentions over here that when Imam al-Hussein went to seek permission, when Ali Akbar went to seek permission, he hugged Imam al-Hussein, and both of them began to weep and cry. Maktal mentions that Rasulullah tied the amama with his own hands around the head of Ali Akbar, and then he helped Ali Akbar wear the armor which was made from iron, and he tightened it from around the waist so that it remains firm. Allahu Akbar. Imam al-Hussein then says to Ali Akbar, go into the khaymaga of the women, go and bid your mother and your auntie and your sisters farewell. The Maktal mentions when Ali Akbar went into the khaymaga dressed in the armor and dressed for battle, the women, Sayyida Zainab, Sayyida Layla, Sayyida Kulthum, Sayyida Sukaina, the women in the khayma burst out into tears. They were weeping and wailing. One would hold the hand of Ali Akbar, one is hugging Ali Akbar. The sisters are holding the feet of Ali Akbar. The women are shouting from inside, Ya Ali, irham ghurbatana. Oh Ali, have mercy on our loneliness in this desert. The Khaymaga burst into weeping and wailing. It is with great difficulty Imam al-Hussein comes into the Khayma. He gives sabr and consolation to the women, and with his hand he takes Ali Akbar out of the women's tent. The Maktal mentions then Imam al-Hussein helped Ali Akbar embark upon the horse. Allahu Akbar. And as Ali Akbar was on the horse, Imam al-Hussein raised his hands towards the heavens and he said, Allahumma ishhad ala ha'ula'in nas kad baraza ilayhim ghulam أشبه الناس خلقا وخلقا برسول الله. Ya Allah, you bear witness on this nation that they have killed a person, a youth who resembles Rasulullah the most. Imam al-Hussein then with one hand on his beard raised the other hand to the heavens and he said, Inna Allah astafa Adama wa Nuhan وآل إبراهيم وآل إبراهيم للعالمين. Ali Akbar is on his horse getting ready to go towards the Maidan. But as he is preparing himself to go onto the Maidan, he hears some footsteps on the sand. Ali Akbar turns around, he sees it is his father Abu Abdullah walking behind. Imam al-Hussein walking behind him. Ali Akbar says, Baba, you gave me permission. Allah, Allah, who is there to cry for the pain of Imam al-Hussein? The narrations mention that Ali Akbar embarked upon the horse and held on to his sword with his armor. He went into the battlefield saying, Ana Ali ibn al-Husayn ibn Ali, nahnu wa baytullahi awla bin nabi. تالله لا يحكم فينا ابن الدعي أضربكم بالسيف أحامي عن أبي أضربكم بسيفي أحامي عن أبي ضرب غلام هاشمي علوي. Ali al-Akbar enters into the battlefield saying, I am Ali the son of Hussein. Wallah, this Ibn al-Da'i shall never rule over us. With my sword I will defend my father. With my sword I will defend my father, and I will attack you with a strike that is the strike of a Hashimiyun Alawi. The narrations mention Ali Akbar went into the battlefield like a charging lion, and he attacked the right wing and attacked the left wing. The Maktal says, فَإِنْ كَلَبَ مَيْمَنَتَهُمْ مَيْسَرَةً وَمَيْسَرَتَهُمْ مَيْمَنَةً. He dismantled the right and the left wings, making them fall into out of position. And then the Maktal says, فَغَاسَتْ فِي أَوْسَطِهَا. Ali al-Akbar deep dive into the center of the battlefield. There was not a person in front of Ali Akbar except under his sword he went into Jahannam wa bi'sal masir. Today I saw with the Maktal 1,000. In one attack, 1,580 kuffar sent to Jahannam wa bi'sal masir under the sword of Ali Akbar. Do not be surprised by these numbers, because we said Ali al-Akbar is from the people of Iyyaka na'budu wa Iyyaka nasta'in. These are the people who are Itratul Hamd wa Al Bakara. He demolished the enemies on the ranks and he stood in the middle. The Maktal says not a single person was willing to come in front of Ali Akbar. The first time in history you read that in the middle of the battlefield went silent. These are people of Thabat. These are people, like we said the other night, we are the people of Iyyaka na'budu wa Iyyaka nasta'in. When Ali Akbar says to you that I shall strike you dharba ghulamin Hashimiyin Alawi or Hashimiyun Alawi, that I shall strike you with my sword, a strike that is Hashimi and Alawi, know what he means. Not a single person in front of him. Omar ibn Sa'ad cries out to a person, a warrior by the name of Tariq. No one wants to come forward. So he goes to a person called Tariq and he says to him, Oh Tariq, you take a salary from Yazid and you don't want to fight? Go and meet this man Ali Akbar. Tariq looks at Umar ibn Sa'ad and he says to him, I take a salary which is small compared to you. You have got the governorship of Ray, so you are the one who should be awla to go and fight Ali Akbar. But these are men who are cowards, who are fighting for the dunya. So Umar ibn Sa'ad says to Tariq that if you go out to face Ali Akbar, I shall make you the governor of the land of Mosul. Tariq, with this tama' of the dunya, little did he know that he's walking towards his death. Tariq comes and stands in front of Ali Akbar and challenges him to a duel. The narrations mention that even before the dust settled down, they went, because Tariq went charging towards Ali Akbar. Ali Akbar was on his horse, so the enemies were not able to see what happened. As the horses charged towards each other, the ghubar, the dust raised up. They couldn't see what has happened. But as soon as the dust went down, they saw Tariq lifeless on the plains of Karbala. To Jahannam wa bi'sal masir. The Maqtal mentions all this time Imam al-Hussein is standing by the door of the khayma, by the front of the khayma. He's looking at the jihad of his son Imam Ali Akbar and he's smiling. Next to him is Sayyida Layla. She is sitting down on the sands of Karbala. She's looking at the face of Imam al-Hussein. She knows that as long as Imam al-Hussein is smiling, her son Ali is safe. So Ali Akbar calls out, is there anyone to come against me? Nobody wants to come forward after Tariq, until there was a person by the name of Bakr ibn Ghanim. Ahibai, do you know who was Bakr ibn Ghanim? Bakr ibn Ghanim was the head of what would be considered today a SWAT team. Even at that time in Arabian battle, there were cavalries of mercenaries. They didn't participate in the war. But when a military flank or a cavalry got shattered, or that cavalry was facing numerous losses, these special ops mercenaries were brought in as reinforcement to strengthen a failing, weakening flank. Bakr ibn Ghanim was the head of this mercenary cavalry. These are people who were so bloodthirsty, they had no deen except money and the spilling of blood. So Bakr ibn Ghanim comes forward in battle, in combat against Ali Akbar. And as they engaged in battle, he landed a strike on the shoulder of Ali Akbar. So the complexion of Imam al-Hussein changed. When his complexion changed, Sayyida Layla looked at Imam al-Hussein. She said, is everything okay with my son Ali? Imam al-Hussein says to him, Layla, go into the khaymaga and do dua to Allah, for indeed the dua of a mother is mustajab. Allah, Allah. Layla went into the khaymaga. She threw herself on the turba Karbala. She threw herself on the turba Karbala. She raised her hands in dua. She says, Ya Rada Yusuf ila Yaqub, Ya Rada Ibrahim ila Hajar. Oh, the one who returned Yusuf to Yaqub. Oh, the one who returned Ismail to Hajar. Look at the wasila of this Mazloom mother, Sayyida Layla. She raises her hands. Look at the wasila of a Mazloom mother. She raises her hands. She says, Ilahi bi'atashil Hussein. Ya Allah, by the thirst of Hussein. Ilahi bi khurbatil Hussein. Ya Allah, I am asking you by the loneliness of Hussein. Rudda alayya waladi Ali. As soon as Layla said this, in the Maidan, Ali Akbar lands a blow on Bakr ibn Ghanim with a sword. He didn't know whether the strike was from the right or the left, and Bakr goes to Jahannam wa bi'sal masir. Ali Akbar comes back into the Khaymaga. No one is willing to come in front of him. Ali Akbar comes into the Khaymaga. He is covered in wounds and covered in blood. He comes and he says to his father, he sees Imam al-Hussein, Matamis, this is going to hurt you. Ali Akbar comes to the khayma. He says, Aya abata, kad katalani al-atash. This thirst is killing me, oh my father. وَثِقْلَ الْحَدِيدَ أَجَهَدَنِي. The weight and the heat of this iron armor. Allah. Shabab, Matamis, those of you who have gone to Arba'in in the summer, 48 degrees, you know how baking it is with a shirt. Ali Akbar was with an armor made of iron soaking heat. He says to his father, this thirst is killing me. Imam al-Hussein says to Ali Akbar, oh my son Ali, have sabr. It is only a few moments, and then your grandfather Amirul Mu'mineen will feed you, will quench your thirst with a cup from the pond of Kawthar. Allah. He then says to Ali Akbar, go to the khayma of your mother, Sayyidah Layla, and go and do wida. Mother was doing dua for you. Imam Ali Akbar goes into the khayma. Sayyidah Layla sees him covered in blood, and she hugs Ali Akbar. She says, my son, waladi ya Ali, don't go back into the battlefield. This mother is weak. She can't live without you, Ali. Do you know what Ali Akbar did for his mother to console his mother? The Maktal says, فَضَمَّهَا عَلَى صَدْرِهِ. He hugged his mother Layla, Mazloom Layla. He kissed her on the forehead. Ali Akbar then held the hands of his mother. He said, Mother Layla, he says to her mother, I'll tell you only one thing. If you allow me to go to the battlefield on the day of judgment, Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra, Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra will be proud of you. As soon as Sayyidah Layla heard the name of Sayyidah Zahra, she kept quiet. Ali Akbar comes out of the khaymaga. He bids his father farewell for the final time. He embarks upon his horse and he charges into the Maktal one final time. The Maktal says, فَقَاتَلَهُمْ كِتَالًا شَدِيدًا. So Umar ibn Sa'ad said, bring the mercenaries, that cavalry of whom Bakr has been killed. Let them seek revenge against Ali Akbar. So they brought in reinforcement of swordsmen, and they surrounded Ali Akbar. As Ali Akbar was defending himself from in front, from right and from the left, one Mal'oon by the name of Ibn Munkid got close to the horse of Ali Akbar. As he was defending himself from three directions, Munkid came and planted a spear in the chest of Ali Akbar. As Ali Akbar was struggling to breathe, the same Munkid Maktal says, فَضَرَبَهُ بِسَيْفِهِ عَلَى رَأْسِهِ. He struck Ali Akbar with a sword on the head. Blood is pouring down from the face of Ali Akbar. So he holds on to the neck of the horse. The horse keeps running, but the blood is flowing from the head of Ali Akbar onto the face of the horse. The horse is not able to see where it's running, so it ran straight into the direction of the enemies. The Maktal says every one of them took a hit at Ali Akbar. This one with a sword, this one with a spear, this one with an arrow, that one with a tent pole. The one who was closest to Ali Akbar, as the horse kept running, they kept stabbing Ali Akbar with a khanjar. Maqtal says, فَقَطَّعُوهُ إِرْبًا إِرْبًا. They cut him to pieces. Ali Akbar fell off the horse. He cries out in a painful voice, Alayka minni salam. When Imam al-Hussein heard the cry of Ali Akbar, there was so much pain in this cry. But do you know how much pain it caused to Imam al-Hussein? Do you know what the call matam is? Do you know what the call of Ali Akbar did to Imam al-Hussein? Allah. As soon as Imam al-Hussein heard this, he went running out of the Khaymaga. Sayyida Sukaina is there. She says, Baba, where are you running? Imam al-Hussein says, I heard the call of my son Ali. Sukaina says, Baba, the call came from that direction. Enter, you're running in this direction. Imam al-Hussein says, Sukaina, with the pain in the voice of Ali, I can't see anymore. Awa Husseina Mazloom Imam. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Tonight is your night of loyalty with your tears for Ali Akbar. Ya Allah, grant us thabat in the path of Ahlul Muhammad. Imam al-Hussein, don't ask me, Imam al-Hussein, how he reached to Ali Akbar. But the Maqtal says when Imam al-Hussein when Imam al-Hussein reached, Shabab, take your hearts to Maqam Ali Akbar in Karbala. It is as if you are sitting there. Maqtal says when Imam al-Hussein reached Ali Akbar, he saw him kana yanqalib fi dami. Ali Akbar was turning to the right and to the left out of pain in his own blood. Imam al-Hussein sits down. The pain in the heart of this Muslim father. Imam al-Hussein sits down. He puts the head of Ali Akbar on the lap. He begins to wipe the sand and the blood from the face of Ali Akbar. Maqtal says, Imam al-Hussein, very gently, this wound was deep. Very gently, Imam al-Hussein puts his cheek on the cheek of Ali Akbar. And then he says, Ala dunya ba'daka al-kafa. Ala dunya ba'daka al-afa. Ali Akbar, there is no reason to live after you. Your father doesn't have strength now. In all this pain, Imam al-Hussein sees a faint smile on the lips of Ali Akbar. Imam al-Hussein says, Waladi ya Ali, oh my son Ali, with all this pain, why are you smiling? Matamis. Ali Akbar whispers back to Imam al-Hussein. He says to him, Baba, do you remember in the Khaymaga, you told me that my grandfather will quench my thirst after a little bit. He says, I can see from the heavens above my grandfather Rasulullah. I can see with him my grandmother Sayyidah Fatima Zahra. Baba, here is my grandfather Amirul Mu'mineen. He's come with a cup from Kawthar, and they are telling me, tell your father, come to us. We are waiting. Allah bless your tears. Matam is final point of the Maqtal and Tamam. Imam, I don't know if you have the strength to listen. Allahu Akbar. Imam al-Hussein says Ali Akbar is in a lot of pain. His hand is on his chest. The elders in the house used to tell us this. This is narrated from the elders in the house. Ali Akbar's hand was in his chest, on his chest. He was in so much pain. Imam al-Hussein tries to remove the hand. Ali Akbar is insistent, leave the hand over here. Twice Imam al-Hussein tries, twice Ali Akbar is insistent. Imam al-Hussein says, son, let me see your wound. Ali Akbar says, father, if you see this wound, it is going to hurt you more than it is hurting me. Mazloom Hussein. The narrations mention, the ulama mention that Imam al-Hussein moved the hand of Ali Akbar. He showed the pain that the broken spear was causing Ali Akbar. So Imam al-Hussein put one hand on the chest of Ali Akbar with the intention of removing this broken spear. Imam al-Hussein held the tip of the spear, looked up towards the heavens, and he cried out, Ya Ali! Ya Ali, adrikni!
سونا اکبر اکھیاں نہ بند کر میرا سونا اکبر پیوں ویسے آمر میرا سونا اکبر اکھیاں نہ بند کر میرا سونا اکبر پیوں ویسے آمر میرا سونا اکبر اکھیاں نہ بند کر میرا سونا اکبر پیوں ویسے آمر میرا سونا اکبر اکھیاں نہ بند کر میرا سونا اکبر میں کو کرنا تنہا تیرے بعد بچرا میں کو کرنا تنہا تیرے بعد بچرا تیرا کوئی نہیں ہم سے میرا سونا اکبر اکھیاں نہ بند کر میرا سونا اکبر پیوں ویسے آمر میرا سونا اکبر اکھیاں نہ بند کر میرا سونا اکبر پیوں ویسے آمر میرا سونا اکبر اکھیاں نہ بند کر میرا سونا اکبر پرینا للہ زہرا دا جایا مقتل چوخے میں بہو کھایا پرینا للہ زہرا دا جایا مقتل چوخے میں بہو کھایا رو رو کے آنکھیں کیوں لینا رو رو کے آنکھیں کیوں لینا کیتا خون وچ تے میرا سونا اکبر اکھیاں نہ بند کر میرا سونا اکبر پیوں ویسے آمر میرا سونا اکبر اکھیاں نہ بند کر میرا سونا اکبر پیوں ویسے آمر میرا سونا اکبر اکھیاں نہ بند کر میرا سونا اکبر اکبر دا لاشا جد خیمے آیا لیلا دے پاسو اے او بہن آیا اکبر دا لاشا جد خیمے آیا لیلا دے پاسو اے او بہن آیا ماں صدقے میں मां सदके मैं को एक बार मैं ते एहसान चाके मेरा सोना अकबर अखियां ना बंद करे मेरा सोना अकबर क्यों वैसिया मैं मेरा सोना अकबर अखियां ना बंद करे मेरा सोना अकबर क्यों वैसिया मैं मेरा सोना अकबर अखियां ना बंद करे मेरा सोना अकबर परदेस आखे इंज नहीं करीदा रावाच कलिया छड़ नहीं वंजीदा परदेस आके इंज नहीं करीदा रावाच कलिया छड़ नहीं वंजीदा तेरे बाद बचरा मेरी लाश रुलसी तेरे बाद बचरा मेरी लाश रुलसी सीने जेते से मेरा सोना अकबर अखियां ना बंद कर मेरा सोना अकबर वैसिया मैं मेरा सोना अकबर अखियां ना बंद कर मेरा सोना अकबर क्यों वैसिया मैं मेरा सोना अकबर अखियां ना बंद कर मेरा सोना अकबर दुख रे नदी मिस गल दे खा गई कर जुल्म जुदा अहले जफा गए दुख रे नदी मिस गल दे आ गए कर जुल्म जुदा अहले जफा गए सर खाक पाके शबीर आखे सर खाक पाके शबीर आके अज लुट गया गए मेरा सोना अकबर अखियां ना बंद कर मेरा सोना अकबर क्यों वैसिया मैं मेरा सोना अकबर हुसैन या 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 हुसैन नाम बोला सब पढ़ो या हुसैन 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 जो मातमी या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन हाय या हुसैन 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 हाय या हुसैन 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 हाय या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا، دستار سے وہ ماں کی، دستار سے وہ ماں کی ردا تک پہنچ گیا، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا، دستار سے وہ ماں کی، دستار سے وہ ماں کی ردا تک پہنچ گیا، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا، آواز رن سے آئی کہ بابا میں گر پڑا، آواز رن سے آئی کہ بابا میں گر پڑا، گرتا ہوا حسین، گرتا ہوا حسین صدا تک پہنچ گیا، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا، ہے آواز رن سے آئی کہ بابا میں گر پڑا، آواز رن سے آئی کہ بابا میں گر پڑا، گرتا ہوا حسین، گرتا ہوا حسین صدا تک پہنچ گیا، اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہے، پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا ایسے گری ہے خیمے میں اکبر کی لاش پر ایسے گری ہے خیمے میں اکبر کی لاش پر زینب کا خون کھا کے زینب کا خون کھا کے شفا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا ایسے گری ہے خیمے میں اکبر کی لاش پر ایسے گری ہے خیمے میں اکبر کی لاش پر زینب کا خون کھا کے زینب کا خون کھا کے شفا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا دستار سے وہ ماں کی دستار سے وہ ماں کی ردا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا ہائے لیلا یہ رو کے کہتی تھی اکبر کہاں ہو تم لیلا یہ رو کے کہتی تھی اکبر کہاں ہو تم ظالم کا ہاتھ میری ظالم کا ہاتھ میری ردا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا ہائے مولا ضعیف ہو گئے کچھ دیر میں مگر مولا ضعیف ہو گئے کچھ دیر میں مگر اکبر کا لاشا لے اکبر کا لاشا لے آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی آبا تک پہنچ گیا ہائے مولا ضعیف ہو گئے کچھ دیر میں مگر مولا ضعیف ہو گئے کچھ دیر میں مگر اکبر کا لاشا لے اکبر کا دستار سے وہ ماں کی دستار سے وہ ماں کی ردا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہائے سینے میں نیزہ توڑ کے کہتا تھا یہ لئی سینے میں نیزہ توڑ کے کہتا تھا یہ لئی دیکھو حسین اپنی دیکھو حسین اپنی قضا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا جس ہاتھ نے گرایا جس ہاتھ نے گرایا تھا تمشک مصطفیٰ جس ہاتھ نے گرایا تھا تمشک مصطفیٰ نیزہ لیے وہ ہاتھ نیزہ لیے وہ ہاتھ ردا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا ہائے سینے میں نیزہ توڑ کے کہتا تھا یہ لئی سینے میں نیزہ توڑ کے کہتا تھا یہ لئی دیکھو حسین اپنی دیکھو حسین اپنی قضا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ گیا اکبر کا لہو شہ کی ابا تک پہنچ
کرتے ہیں ماتم حرم عباس کا ہو گیا مرنا ستم عباس کا کرتے ہیں ماتم حرم عباس کا ہو گیا مرنا ستم عباس کا کرتے ہیں ماتم حرم عباس کا ہو گیا مرنا ستم عباس کا کرتے ہیں ماتم عباس کا ہو گیا مرنا ستم عباس کا کرتے ہیں ماتم حرم عباس کا ہو گیا مرنا ستم عباس کا کرتے ہیں ماتم کرتے ہیں ماتم حرم عباس کا ہو گیا مرنا ستم عباس کا کرتے ہیں ماتم حرم عباس کا ہو گیا مرنا ستم عباس کا کرتے ہیں ماتم حرم عباس کا ہو گیا مرنا ستم عباس اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینہ اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینہ مائی ہے بحال شان حسینہ بھوکے رہے پیاسے رہے دریا کے کنارے 10ویں کو گلا تیرا کٹا ہے حسینہ اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینہ اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینہ مائی ہے حسینا بھوکے رہے پیاسے رہے دریا کے کنارے 10ویں کو گلا تیرا کٹا ہے حسینا اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینا اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینا ہے با شاہ حسینہ جنت سے بکا کرتی ہوئی فاطمہ آئی سر پیٹ کے یوں کہنے لگی ہائے حسینہ اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینہ اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینہ مائی ہے با شان حسینہ بھوکے رہے پیاسے رہے دریا کے کنارے 10ویں کو گلا تیرا کٹا ہے حسینہ اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینہ اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینہ بحال پریشان حسینہ جنت سے بکا کرتی ہوئی فاطمہ آئی سر پیٹ کے یہ کہنے لگی ہائے حسینہ نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینہ اے نور نظر فاطمہ کی جان حسینہ آیا علم عباس کا سر پیٹ کے بولے حرم آیا علم عباس کا سر پیٹ کے بولے حرم آیا علم عباس کا پنجہ نظر جب آ گیا ہنس کر سکینہ نے کہا بے آب تھے بے تاب ہم آیا علم عباس کا سر پیٹ کے بولے حرم آیا علم عباس کا سر عباس کا مشکیزہ بنت شاہ کا جو کہ علم سے ہے بندھا کس شان سے اہل غم آیا علم عباس کا سر پیٹ عباس کا مارا گیا تیرا چچا جان اپنی کی تجھ پر فدا دینے کو درد و رنج و غم آیا علم عباس کا سر پیٹ کے بولے حرم آیا علم عباس کا سر پیٹ کے بولے حرم آیا علم عباس کا مارا گیا تیرا چچا جان اپنی کی تجھ پر فدا دینے کو درد و رنج و غم آیا علم عباس کا سر پیٹ کے بولے حرم آیا علم عباس کا سر پیٹ کے بولے حرم آیا علم عباس اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ اصغر کو پانی پلاؤ غازی اب تو ذرا میں آؤ ٹکڑے ہوئے تیرے مشک و علم کے قربان ہے تیرے بازو قلم کے زینب کو بازو دکھاؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ اصغر کو پانی پلاؤ غازی اب تو ذرا مشق سکینہ خالی پڑی ہے امو کی لاڈلی ڈھونڈ رہی ہے پیاری کو تم ہی سنبھالو غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ اصغر کو پانی پلاؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں بچوں میں شور ہے پانی پلاؤ عباس غازی میدان سے آؤ پیاسوں کی پیاس بجھاؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ اصغر کو پانی پلاؤ غازی اب تو ذرا ٹکڑے ہوئے تیرے مشک و علم کے قربان ہے تیرے بازو قلم کے زینب کو بازو دکھاؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے میں آؤ اصغر کو پانی پلاؤ غازی اب تو ذرا خیمے خوں تھا سبیل راہ خدا میں حسین کا خوں تھا سبیل راہ خدا میں حسین کا اللہ کیا جگر تھا جفا میں حسین کا اللہ کیا جگر تھا جفا میں حسین کا خوں تھا سبیل راہ خدا میں دریا بھی رو دیا سمندر بھی رو دیا نازک گلے کو دیکھ کے خنجر بھی رو دیا اللہ کیا جگر تھا جفا میں حسین کا اللہ کیا جگر تھا جفا میں حسین کا خدا سبیل راہ خدا میں حسین کا خدا سبیل راہ خدا میں حسین کا اللہ زہرا پکارتی ہے کہ فریاد یا خدا میرا حسین دھوپ کے اندر ہے جل رہا اللہ کیا جگر تھا جفا میں حسین کا اللہ کیا جگر تھا جفا میں حسین کا خدا سبیل راہ خدا میں حسین کا خدا سبیل راہ خدا میں حسین کا بتلاؤ میں ستاتا ہوں یا تم ستاتے ہو میں تو دعائیں دیتا ہوں تم دل جلاتے ہو اللہ کیا جگر تھا جفا میں حسین کا اللہ کیا جگر تھا جفا میں حسین کا خدا سبیل راہ خدا میں حسین کا خدا سبیل راہ خدا میں حسین کا دریا بھی رو دیا سمندر بھی رو دیا نازک گلے کو دیکھ کے خنجر بھی رو دیا
اللہ کیا جگر تھا جفا میں حسین کا اللہ کیا جگر تھا جفا میں حسین کا خدا سبیل راہ خدا میں حسین کا خدا سبیل راہ خدا میں حسین کا
اے کوفیوں مجھ کو میرے اکبر سے ملا دو لاش کا پتہ دو یا آپ ملا دو لاش کا پتہ دو دو اے کوفیوں مجھ کو تم میں سے اگر صاحب اولاد ہو کوئی جو آگے سینے میں برکتی کو بجھا دو مرحبا مجھ کو تم میں سے اگر صاحب اولاد ہو کوئی جو آگے سینے میں برکتی کو بجھا دو مجھ کو اتنے میں صدا آئی کہ اے شاہ دو عالم چلائی کہ اکبر مجھے آواز سنا دو ہم حیدر کرار آزادار حسینہ جواب آزادارو با قاسم نوشادم علی اکبر ناشاد عباس علمدار آزادار حسینہ مرحبا رار با قاسم نوجوان علی اکبر ناشاد عباس علمدار آزادار حسینہ در گلشن فردوس بھی ہے حمزہ محزون با جعفر تیار آزادار حسینہ با قاسم نوشادم علی اکبر ناشاد عباس علمدار آزادار حسینہ حسن جدا هستم روش جواب داروس شی کربلا هست امروز شی نینوا هست امروز سار حسین مظلوم هستن جدا هست امروز مرحبا مرحبا اکبر نوجوان چی شد اصغر سرخرم چی شد سار حسین مظلوم هستن جدا هست امروز عباس علمدارم چی شد قاسم نوجوان چی شد سار حسین مظلوم هستن جدا مرحبا حسین مظلوم اکبر نوجوان چی شد اصغر سرخرم چی شد ساره حسین مظلوم هستن جدا من آب نمیخواهم جواب دارو نم باسه علم دارم سقای یتیمانم به مونیس و به یارم من آب نمیخواهم نم در خیمه سبین عابد گفتاد علی اکبر ماه بنی هاشم من آب نمیخواهم نم باسه علم دارم سقای یتیمانم به مونیس و به یارم من آب نمیخواهم
حسین تشنه لمکم شهید کربلا را شبر مکم جفارا حسین تشنه شمر لعید غرا خوف کن از خدا را با به سکینه ازا کشته خدا را لما شمر لعید غرا خوف کن از خدا را با به سکینه ازا کشته خدا را نلما کن دست علمدار حسین شد زتن جدا را حضرت عباس ازا شد کربلا را
حسین شهید کربلا و ویلا حسین امام غریب و ویلا حسین امام مظلوم و ویلا و ویلا و ویلا یا حسین و ویلا یا عباس و ویلا علی اکبر یوسف گل کبا علی اکبر سینه زدار اوٹھو اکبر اوٹھو اکبر ہم شکل پیمبر اے اکبر حی علی خیر العمل حی علی خیر العمل حی علی خیر العمل حی علی خیر العمل ہم شکل پیمبر اے اکبر گونجی ہوئی تھی جا بجا اللہ اکبر کی صدا گونجی ہوئی تھی جا بجا اللہ अकबर की सदा जैसे नबी की थी अज़ा हैया अला खैरिल अमल हैया अला खैरिल अमल हैया अला खैरिल अमल हैया अला खैरिल अमल उठो अकबर उठो अकबर नजम सहर है जा बजा ढलने लगी तारीखियाँ नजम सहर है जा बजा ढलने लगी तारीखियाँ जैसे नबी की थी अज़ा हैया अला हैया अला من که عباس علمدار حسینم ای کن من که عباس علمدار حسینم ای کن من که سقای یتیمان حسینم ای کن زینب زار کجا کجا و بازار کجا زینب زار کجا کجا و بازار کجا توک و زنجیر کجا عابد بیمار کجا ایها الناس شما را به حق پهلو مجروح بطول ایها الناس شما را به حق پهلو مجروح بطول شاد بگشا دل ناشاد علی اکبر را قتل فرزند رسول ثقلیلم ای کن قتل فرزند رسول ثقلیلم ای کن نور چشم اسدالله حسینم مرحبا سوی شمم این کوفی و با شور و شیم زمین کربلا قبر شهید کربلا یا حسین محمد وآل محمد صلوات
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين السلام عليك يا خديجة الكبرى أم المؤمنين السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك وأناخت برحلك عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم جميعا السلام على الحسين وعلى الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب السلام على حامل لواء الحسين وأخت الحسين وبنت الحسين ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام على التسعة المعصومين من ذرية الحسين، علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا حجة الله، يا ابن الحسن، يا صاحب العصر والزمان، سيدي الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن وإمام الإنس والجان، عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك. والسلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كل وليك من الحسن